Hey there, welcome back. We are here with still untitled Project Barcade Dev Log number 9. And at the very end of the last devlog, I lied. I said that all of the next updates will probably be very small and very non-visible. And then I went ahead and did this. So now we've got backgrounds, we've got 2D lighting, we've got particle effects on the ball, we've got a bunch of different things. Changed up how the stage select works. Ori has an entirely different kind of kit, and well, not kit, but look to himself, especially for the blue team, as well as updated the game stage. Testing this out with a little bit of fun 3D forced perspective stuff, or false perspective stuff. Not sure how I feel about it at this point in time. But yeah, you can see the ball will go like a little through the window. Whoops. Oh yeah, the lasso action going on over here. Bunch of different fun stuff like that. So yeah, what the heck happened that all of this got done in between the last time and this time? It turns out 2D lights and particle effects and stuff are super easy. Props to Unity for making that tooling really awesome and easy to understand and use. So I went ahead and added a bunch of that stuff in, upgraded the entire game to use the universal render pipeline. It might still be called lightweight, but they're moving to call it the universal blah 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 blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Basically that allows me to use 2D lighting and some other fun stuff like that. So I went ahead and started doing that. As you can see, there's actually a couple of layers now in the game. So the players on one layer, you can see these lights on the stage are actually in the foreground. They're like the lights being the thing, so you can't see my feet right now. Now you can, now you can't, now you can. And then, things like the platforms are in the middle ground, and then there's actually a background behind them all. Did a couple other fun little things. Let's see if I can get the ball in here. Added in a little system for having an animated ball return, so you can see a little hand will go ahead and drop the ball back over here when you kick it off the stage. So doing some other fun, goofy stuff like that. But yeah, just basically did a ton of drawing to get this stuff good and going. Now that the skill system, tested that out, got that going. Like it's so fast to do skills for anything that I want now. Went ahead and just tested out gestures, or got her kit going, just for kind of proof of concept of both the throw and the projectile. And of course I can't do it right now because it's a video and I can't talk and try to do gesture throws at the same time. But there you go. So there's the throw, and then also, okay, I'm gonna let that land. I'm gonna let it land, and then I can, oops. Okay. And then we can do the projectile. So projectiles also work. I had to update the system a little bit for projectiles, but really not that bad. I did discover a little bit after I finished that, when I started working on Ori, that I would need another kind for spawning what I'm calling triggers, so little things like traps. Did that, upgraded all of the projectiles and spawnable items to use some like a inherited prefab system, so that they're all, if I need to make a change that affects all projectiles or all spawnable items, things like that, that's very easy for me to do now. And then I went ahead and just like reanimated all of Ori. A lot of Ori's animations were placeholder before this. So I changed him for the blue team. I also changed his kit just a little bit. So talked about adding the lasso thing last time. You couldn't really see anything. It was just there but invisible, but now he actually has a little lasso. If I pull the ball right now, it doesn't actually have an animation on it, but that's something I'm working on next. And then I added in some fun little animations and like little magic effects on things like his neutral ground move, just to kind of like give it some sparkle and like a little, I don't know, like high forest fantasy. I think there's still a couple of effects I need to do, just little fun ones like shaking Ori a little bit side to side, making a little splash hit on the ground, and then making sure that it's not too much visually, because this explosion is cool, but it's a lot visually right now. Just making sure that it makes it more understandable and like makes the hit feel stronger, but at the same time doesn't really overwhelm everything else that you see. So doing some fun little stuff like that just to make him feel better. And then I also added a little move. So if his nair, I just kind of increase the time that it goes, so he'll spin like all the way down. But if you go ahead and you tap the attack button again while you're in the air, so if I just hit it once, I'll float all the way down. But if I go ahead and just tap it a bunch of times in the air, I can actually stay in the same spot, or if I tap it fast enough, I can go up. And then I can use it to move, do some fun little like readjustments in the air. I think I need to add a little thing here to kind of denote when you can stop, when you cannot continue to flutter. Oops. Cannot continue to flutter, as I'm calling it. So right here, it stops. Basically, all this does is set whether or not to intake inputs, and use that to make the flutter go up. So right here, I think I'm gonna have like a little flash or something, so that okay, I should stop mashing now, so that I don't accidentally buffer an input as soon as this move is over. So that's something that I want to just, small touch-ups like that to Ori. But yeah, so why did I decide to all of a sudden work on Ori when I said I was going to work on Jester? And I think that's could be because the next playtest I'm going to have is going to be over Thanksgiving, I think. When I am back home in Minnesota, I'm going to try to get a bunch of yahoos together and do some more live testing with just Kid Ninja and Ori, I think, because those two to me right now represent opposite ends of like the speed spectrum of the game, whereas Ori's slow and kind of disruptive, and Kid Ninja just wants to like go and pushes a lot of flow through the game. So I want to just kind of like test those two and make sure that I can kind of build my polls, right, for like this is the fastest I want the game to go, and this is like the slowest and most disruptive I want the flow of the game to go. And then we can try to place all of the other characters just somewhere in between there. How to actually do that without playing again, ? But I'm gonna do my best, and then we're gonna play test and find out where I was wrong. Because that seems like a good idea. The last thing that I want to do another little test on is the actual stage itself. So you saw here that I have this kind of like false perspective. I'm not super sure about it, so you can see stuff like I'm not actually running directly up that curve. I could make it so that curve lined up, but it looks a little odd with just the perspective, like the way the ball would actually roll up. This ramp would be a little higher and it would kind of roll in the middle or something like that. But yeah, just trying to make sure like that even though I can't see exactly where that curve is on this, that still feels okay. As well as like if you look, I don't stop when I hit this wall. Like I stop when I hit partway into the wall. And like the window feels fine, right? Because the window is set up to be that way, but the I don't know. Just I'm wondering whether or not having that like pixel perfect nature on the actual sides and floor is super necessary or not. So I think I'm gonna just make a second really rough quick sketch of at least this part of the stage, like the active part of the stage, and I'm gonna play test both of those. The next time I do something, just so I can see if it like really matters, and I might playtest those a bunch of times. Like that might just be a thing for a while. It's like, okay, we're gonna play on the 3D stage and we're gonna play on the 2D stage, because I like what I can do 3D wise. Like, yeah, I just think you can make some stuff that looks, I don't know, cooler, more fun. Like this window over here and over here. This is the same window. It's whatever. But I like the like, I don't know, 3D effect of like, oh, I'm shooting through a window. It's kind of cool to me. Versus if we just look at the stage select, it's fully 2D flat on. Like it's all right. Like it's not bad. It serves its purpose pretty well. But it's just a little more boring to me than the other one is. So I just want to make sure that like the options I have available to me art wise are good. And that's kind of what I'm gonna try to do with the stage. But yeah, so what's next? I guess I got kind of talked about it already. But yeah, still feeling pretty pumped about everything. Excited to try and play this again. I think it's a lot more readable and understandable just with some of the small tweaks visually that have been made. And I'm just excited to get this back in front of some people and see what they think about it. So yeah, that's this devlog. Again, thanks for watching, even if it's just me, and I'll see you next time.